Mini cast. We are in division number 2. Bambino versus Notorious is the matchup here. It is a best of 3, and we will be following all 3 games along. It is team No Dark Willow versus Notorious League of Gentlemen. What a League of Gentlemen they are. We'll be seeing what's going to be the first bands here. It is going to be a Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet. Very annoying hero to play against, mostly for the mental warfare of killing your courier over and over, and the split push, of course. Very, very difficult to deal with. What is going to be the reaction from the League of Gentlemen here?
10 seconds. Radiant team ban.
We have a Treant ban. Treant Protector getting banned out. Treant, absolute monster of a hero right now. Very, very strong brawler. So much survivability with his living armor, with Nature's Grasp, with Leech Seed. Kunkka ban. Kunkka. It's a really good offlaner right now. His Torrent Storm. Very, very, very chaotic. Especially at level 20 when he has the additional AoE for Torrent. It's really hard to deal with, and you will get hit by it. Unless you have a BKB.
5 seconds remain. Radiant team
And there's gonna be an Invoker ban.
Dire team ban.
Invoker getting banned out, and then there's the Lone Druid ban. Lone Druid, a hero that is really strong right now since his ultimate got changed to be not targetable anymore, but it's an ability that you use, and then it's kind of like a second form like Dragon Knight, and you get all the abilities of your bear on yourself as well, and it deals so much damage. So much damage. There we have a Sand King ban from the Dire. Just ban out that offlaner, which is very, very good in terms of stuns, very low cooldown stuns, a lot of damage with Sandstorm. Epicenter has most of the time a good lane. Can't really ask for much more in an offlaner, and Dire doesn't want to see it. They do not want to see it, so they ban it out.
Dire team pick.
It is a Keeper of the Light. First pick Keeper of the Light. Everybody thought that hero would get nerfed into oblivion in the previous patch. Well, guess what? He is still here, still going strong. Still first pick material.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
The response to it will be the Puck. Puck, very, very strong hero right now. Can be played as a support as well as a mid. And we've seen him go absolutely ham in multiple games now. Phase shift attacks is very, very good if you go to right click build. But all of his abilities deal so much damage. Tiny also getting picked up. It might be Tiny safe lane, could be Tiny support, could be Tiny off lane, could be Tiny mid. You can put that hero anywhere you want if you have a player for it.
Radiant team ban.
And there's a Legion Commander pickup for the Radiant side.
Ban.
I do think they might want to ban out the Skywrath Mage, so that Dire doesn't pick that up as their second support. Unless it is Puck and Tiny support, unless they're thinking that they already have their support too. But I don't think you can really put Puck as a 5 or Tiny as a 5. Both of those heroes need to be at least a 4,
10
in my opinion. So I would still like to see a Skywrath Mage ban, because otherwise your duels are gonna get countered by the Mystic Flare. Of course, you could also hope that you get the Skywrath Mage, in which your duels don't get countered but gets much more secured.
Radiant team.
And there we have a Vengeful Spirit ban. Vengeful has been very often picked up in this first phase. Surprised she hasn't been banned or picked. Both teams valuing to pick up other heroes in that first phase.
Dire team back.
And there's a Razor ban. So far, Dire, like, Radiant has this huge team fight ultimate in Will-O-Wisp. And Dire doesn't have too much against that yet. They have Dream Coil in terms of an ultimate themselves, but they don't have anything to take down the Will-O-Wisp. Maybe something like a Juggernaut or Gyrocopter would be really good for Dire. Gyrocopter can just activate Flak Cannon and hit the Will-O-Wisp and hit everything else as well. And Juggernaut can just spin, kill the Will-O-Wisp, and then focus on the rest of the team. Lifestealer, same. He has Rage.
Team pick.
They could also go with something like Ursa. I don't know. Ursa gets kind of pushed around with the blinding light and everything. They go with the Morphling ban. Maybe Bambino's team have a Morphling player. Would be my guess. There is the Ursa pickup. Ursa absolutely destroys everybody in lane. I don't know any offlane hero that really stands a chance against Ursa. Maybe Beastmaster, Mr. Boars. If you're good at microing. It's still gonna be hard though.
10 seconds remaining.
And so it's an Ursa safe lane. So it's not Tiny safe lane.
5 seconds.
Is it gonna be Tiny support and puck mid? We'll see. We'll see. They do. They would like to. I would like them to have some setup for the Ursa, something like Shadow Shaman, Lion, Witch Doctor, something with like a clear stun would be nice, so that Ursa can just hit him and stack up those Fury swipes. And they are dipping into quite into the reserve time. They go for the Tusk. Tusk has some save potential against the Ursa. Whoever gets gone on can be taken into the snowball. Also a lot of heavy physical damage on this Radiant lineup. I guess it's a good mix. They have Illuminate, they have Overwhelming Odds.
5 seconds remaining.
But the burst definitely is physical from Tusk. Which could be good to burst down the Ursa. He might not expect the Walrus Punch to come in and take like 50% of his health. We'll see if he's going to be able to react in time to those things.
Radiant team pick.
And it is a Dazzle. Dazzle, nice save. It's a very good saving support. It's going to be very good against the Legion Commander, you Grave, whoever gets dueled on. Against Tusk, it's kind of obvious who Tusk goes on with Snowball. So if that hero needs a Grave, you can do that in the last moment before Tusk comes out of Snowball.
10 seconds remaining.
You can also heal right when Tusk goes in, and he takes a lot of damage from that. Feel like Radiant. Do they have a Legion Commander, a safe lane player, and go with Nax? I don't know. Axe does get destroyed in lane by Dazzle though. Also, so it is gonna be Dazzle support. Could be Dazzle mid, but most likely not. Dazzle support, and then either Tiny or Puck support. And then whichever is not the support is gonna go offlane or mid. Wait. Your team name is no Dark Willow. Why is there a Dark Willow on your team? Is Vincent all chatting about that? No. I mean, like, you say no Dark Willow.
10
There's a Dark Willow. I'm confused.
5 seconds.
Well, they pick up... Wait, what? Is this gonna be a mid Dark Willow? Oh, mid Dark Willow.
Radiant
Could be really good against the Ursa. Maybe, I don't know. Very confused about both of these lineups. Both of them seem to be having some traditional support in a core role. Tiny not really a support that much anymore. Pug also, never mind what I said, but very, very interesting drafts here from both sides. Dark Willow has Shadow Realm, but there's quite a few AoE that is gonna go through it. Earthshock, Avalanche, Shadow Heal? What's the word of the heal of Dazzle? I don't know. I don't remember. Shallow Wave. Shallow Wave, that's what it is. There's the Skywrath Mage ban. Yes, really like that ban. If yeah, I mean, if you duel, your target gets graved, and you just put Mystic Flare under the LC. Ooh, they go with the Weaver. Has to be careful against the Puck, against the Dream Coil. And I mean, Ursa is gonna build an Abyssal Blade. Ursa Abyssal. Do you go Lincoln Sphere because of that? There's still a lot. There's still a lot that go through it, like Dream Coil, Avalanche, Toss goes through it. Yes, it's not target. So we're gonna be seeing what's gonna be the last pick here for the Dire. Radiant is most likely gonna be a Dark Willow mid. There are those people who do that. I nearly said a bad word there. So we have 45 seconds left. What do they need? They need a mid laner that goes well against Dark Willow. That also can deal with Weaver. So they go with Shadow Fiend. Huh. So they have Shadow Fiend against the Dark Willow. It is Ursa against the Weaver. And it is the LC against Tiny. Most likely. I think the Weaver is a really good pickup here. I don't know if they are going to be able to deal with the Weaver. If the Weaver gets something like a Lincoln Sphere. He has to be careful about Dream Coil, but if it's a support puck, that's a bit limited. Like you see the orb, you know, they're either going to jump there with then Waning Rift. They don't have too fast of a Blink Dagger. Also in the early game, Tusk with Dark Willow. Whew, that's going to be a lot of damage. Also, when Dark Willow has the axe plus the tag team, that's so much damage. Oh. And the machine gun Dark Willow is most likely what we're going to be seeing here in this game. Tusk making his appearance quite a few times in these past couple of days in these rd2l games. Very happy to see him. I think he's a very, very fun hero to watch. Very, very fun hero to play. And I'll just have to check my settings really quick. Nope, all good. And we are in the game. We have a free camera. And we make this disappear. And we are in the... Oh. That's when you know you've kind of fucked up. It is a master tier Dark Willow played by Bambino going mid. And then we have Identity on the Weaver going in the offlane. Supported by Hen Mingzi on the Keeper of the Light. Then we have Broccoli on the Legion Commander. And Choker on the Tusk. Meanwhile, on the Dire side, we have Dazzle being played by the captain, Notorious. DOS on the Ursa. Skater X7 on the Shadow Fiend. And in the offlane, it's going to be Support Puck. Or actually, Support Tiny with an offlane Puck. Puck is played by Mid or Chen. And Claire on the Tiny. Starting off with a Buckler. Already putting a ward behind the enemy tower. They want to see where everybody is. Shh. Dazzle wanted to go for this rune, but realizing there are too many heroes here. And it is 3 bounty runes for the Radiant. And no real harass being traded so far. 3 for 1. A slight advantage there for the no Dark Willow team that picked the Dark Willow with the Dark Willow Master Tier Spammer. Tiny is already mid. Fascinatingly. There is a Shadow Realm being used. Doesn't want to get tossed back. And Tiny is just making a long way top. And it is now this Puck here. So they used to teleport. They wanted Weaver against Ursa. Are they gonna teleport on themselves on the side of Radiant? There's a toss forward onto the Puck. Is this gonna be enough damage here? First blood for the Tiny. With the toss on the tower there. Well played there by Claire. So far, I am interested to see how this mid lane is going to go. And very aggressively played here by Dark Willow. Getting some raises, but has a self. Also a self coming out for... Yes, self coming out for the Shadow Fiend as well. So both players having a self. Trying to go for these last hits here. And both getting good last hits. And there is a Bramble Maze being put down. It's now 2 range creep. We'll see if Dark Willow is going to be able to take, to get those denied. Or there is a haste on the Shadow Fiend, so he's most likely going to be fine with them. Yeah. Both range creeps getting nice shards there to save himself on the Tusk. And there is, they find Tiny here. He wants the creep wave. He gets it and puts it under his tower right in front of it. But the range creep might get denied here. Salve being used by Tiny now. And range creep does get kind of denied. Nobody getting any experience. Meanwhile, they go on to this Dazzle here. Tag team dealing so much damage, but they are trying to turn this around now. Poison Touch coming out. And Ursa and Dazzle have to be careful. Tag team with Ice Shards. There is the Ice Shards once again, and Dazzle, they are not even using the tag team. They get the kill. Thus didn't have the mana for it anyways. Nice kill there. Recognizing, hey, I can just shard him in. And this Tiny is gonna get low here. Toss forward to the creep wave, but the Coddle is in much better position than the Tiny. Nice phase shift there to dodge the attack. That would have been a Jaminate attack. So, well played there. Another nice dodge off the Blinding Light. There's toss forward But Tiny is getting really low here, and Weaver is coming for him. There's a Geminate attack. Is it going to be enough damage? Yes, it is. Identity with the kill on the Tiny.
Under attack.
So far, this Weaver having a fantastic game in his offlane. And already finished his 2 Wraith Bands. Is going to go into the threats now. Meanwhile, I miss a kill down bottom. They get the Tusk. And there is a Shadow Realm. Shadow Realm is... And they get the kill onto the Keeper of the Light.
You understand that, right?
Just trading kills back and forth. In terms of bounty runes, it is a 2-for-2 exchange. Both teams getting richer. Shadow Fiend is closing in on his level 6. He is a bit ahead in terms of experience, and we see it is 11 denies and 30 last hits. Meanwhile, the Dark Willow has 19 last hits and 4 denies. There, Weaver they are going to go on to this Tiny here, and Shukuchi together with the right clicks of Keeper of the Light is enough. This Chakra Magic spam with the Shukuchi is really hard to deal with. And I miss another kill down bottom. And they get the kill onto the Legion Commander, but Ursa is low now. No way to turn this around for the Tusk. Tusk has to be careful here. There is an avalanche, but the Tusk on the creep, not on the Weaver. Unfortunate there, wasn't quite in range. So far this laning phase, Ursa is having a good game and Weaver is having a good game, but the mid lane is kind of where we see a bit of a difference. 10 CS ahead on the Shadow Fiend now. And this Ursa is starting to bully out the Legion Commander. And they are coming in mid now. Avalanche into a toss. First race, second race, and the kill onto the Dark Willow. Dark Willow didn't have a Shadow Realm up. No way to prevent it there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Nice rotation there. Tiny helping his Shadow Fiend getting even further ahead. Now also some damage onto the tier 1 tower. There is another toss forward, and there is an avalanche onto the Keeper of the Light, and Keeper of the Light is dead. Meanwhile, bottom, they did lose their Ursa. And mid,
A little mischief never killed anyone.
that was a solo kill by the Dark Willow,
I don't know what
getting the Shadow Fiend. She didn't really know what she was expecting. Well, it was a kill. What is your courier? Whose courier is this? Oh, Tusks. But that kind of gives away that you've been in this area here. Shadow Fiend is back in the game now. Tusk keeping the haste rune warm and cozy. Just keeps on looking at it, even standing on it.
Radiant are scanning.
This Weaver has a really good game as well. Is closing in on a Javelin, going into Maelstrom first. There's a haste rune now on the Tusk. Is he gonna be able to find some kills with it? Level 8 now on both of those mid laners, but solo kill definitely advantageous for the Shadow Fiend. They are trying to go onto him again. There's the Bedlam. And is it going to be enough damage? Dream Coil to turn it around, and both mid laners do go down. But Dark Willow did go down first, and they also might be finding the Tusk. No. Immediate TP rotation by Puck. Nice reflex there. Nice teamwork to get first the kill on the Dark Willow, and only afterwards going down. So they were kind of expecting that rotation to happen, and we are closing in on the 10-minute mark. So far, less than a 1k gold lead, but we'll see if this is going to change with bounty runes as well as outposts coming up now. There's an Ocean Heart being found by the Shadow Fiend. And Ursa, he has his level 6 now. So does the Tusk here. There is an Ice Shards onto the Dazzle duel with the tag team and the Walrus Punch. Easy kill there for the Radiant as well as dual victory. And they get 2 bounty runes as well as both outposts. 3 bounty runes for the side of Radiant. And both outposts in favor of Radiant as well. That is gonna further their lead a little bit, as well as dual damage on the Legion Commander. Tiny Avalanche onto the Tusk. Is there gonna be a Dream Coil onto 2 people? Ursa is here snapped on the Dream Coil, and Tusk is already down. Legion Commander wants to turn this around. She still has Poison Touch on herself. Are they going to be able to find this kill? Leap forward for the slow, and Shadow Fiend is going to come in here as well. Nice Blinding Light, but Ursa is up the hill. Shrine is being used. And another Earth Jump forward. And one more hit, and Legion Commander did go down. Bramble Mace, Dark Willow, is she going to turn this fight around now? They get the Dazzle. Do they also get the Tiny Avalanche? Toss. And the Ice Shards is going to prevent an escape from the Tiny. Nice turnaround there. But your courier did go down. They're trying to also go onto the Shadow Fiend now. There is a Shadow Realm forward with the Bedlam. And the Shadow Realm hit. Is it going to be enough? There is a Will-O-Wisp. Tiny, he is back here. He bought back, but he might just go down again. He is down. He TP'd into the Will-O-Wisp. Die back for the Tiny. Very good turnaround there for the Radiant.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ursa has a Drums now. It's gonna go straight Basher into Abyssal Blade. Meanwhile, this Puck is gonna go into Boots of Travels, closing in on that. And Shadow Fiend, he is gonna go for Drums as well, then BKB. It looks like. What does Dark Willow have? Dark Willow is gonna go first item Use Scepter, then a Blink Dagger, then an Aghanim Scepter, and then a BKB, I assume is this last Ogre Axe. She has her whole game planned out. Legion Commander has now voted Broche. That also has been found by a Shadow Fiend. And wants a Blade Mail as well as a Blink Dagger. But it is this Weaver. Oh, we see another solo kill by the Dark Willow. Finding the kill onto the Shadow Fiend. It's gonna go... Oh, there's a Shadow Realm here. But it's gonna go down to the Orb. There's a toss forward. Are they going to find the kill onto this Keeper of Light as well? Yes, they do. So Dire does fight back with 2 kills of their own. Ooh, they also... Dazzle, he doesn't have a Grave anymore. He is getting low. Oh, the Shard's not going to hit. But the Snowball, one more hit. Is he going to get denied? He does deny himself to the Roshan. Nice heads-up play there. But Ursa is here now, and Ursa wants to fight. The bash from Roche onto the Tusk. Roche completely in favor of Dire right now. Zap! Yeah, charitable of Roshan to first of all deny the Dazzle and bash the Tusk at the exact right moment. Radiant is scanning the Roshan pit. And we see in terms of net worth, it is this Weaver. This Weaver finished now a Maelstrom, and is gonna go into a Manta next. And there isn't too much to keep this Weaver down. It's gonna be very, very difficult to keep him down. Oh, Tiny is gonna try to fight this here. The Maelstrom hasn't been delivered yet. Is there gonna be a duel onto this Tiny? Avalanche toss is gonna make him quite low, but nice ice shards is gonna prevent him from running away, and they are also snowballing forward onto the puck here. Walrus punch, but there is the turnaround. Another turnaround with the Will-O-Wisp. Dream Coil used onto 2 people. It's gonna be snapped by the Legion Commander. Legion Commander living on a sliver of HP. Their orb is going to miss. Another nice ice shards there by Tusk, but Shadow Fiend is turning up now, and Shadow Fiend, he wants to turn this around. Maelstrom now finished by the Weaver, and he is not afraid. There is his Dark Willow is here as well. He's gonna get silenced. Requiem of Souls, Fear onto the Dark Willow, but there's the Bedlam, and Shadow Fiend is gonna get low here, and the Illuminate to take him down in the end. Walrus punch, and there Tiny going down as well. Buyback from the Ursa, but they get the puck. They also are focusing now on this bear, and the bear is gonna go down. Double kill for Han Ming. I apologize, I completely mispronounced that. Han Mingxi, the keeper of the light player. And it is a huge fight for Radiant. They get a buyback out of the Ursa. He dies back. Shadow Fiend going down. Tiny going down. Just relentless aggression from this Radiant side. And Dire is trying to respond to it, but can't find the kills. Can't quite find the kills.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this Weaver is getting scary. He just finished his Maelstrom, has 1,700 gold already.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There is a medallion now on the Dazzle. Tiny still trying to finish that Blink Dagger. That Blink Dagger might be their way back into this game. Same with the Puck Blink Dagger. Instant Initiation is the name of the game to burst down these Weaver. Oh, there is a stun onto the Puck, but it gets dodged with the phase shift. There is a Dream Coil. Are they going to turn this around here? Did the Dark Willow overextend? Yes, she did, and she is gonna pay the price for it, but they find a duel onto the Ursa, and Ursa does go down. Another Will-O-Wisp, and they also get the Tiny. Just as it seemed good for Dire, there come more resources from the Radiant. Tusk and Legion Commander coming in from this sideway, eliminating Puck, getting a duel on the Ursa, and she has 30 duel damage now. Oh, there's a sad trombone being played by the Shadow Fiend. They did take back an outpost, but their tier 2 is assaulted. This Tusk has been playing very, very well. 6, 3, and 9. He has been all over the place, making plays happen left, right, and center. And they are smoking up. They wanna make a move onto the Shadow Fiend and this Dazzle. Ooh, do they find the Shadow Fiend here? They find the Dazzle. They also see the Shadow Fiend. They are going to focus first onto the Dazzle here, and Shadow Fiend is just going to TP out. They find another dual damage. 9k advantage now for the Radiant. We see this now. Like, it was this one team fight where they just were able to get so much, and it just spiraled out of control. And they get the kill onto the Dazzle again. It was dual victory. 40 dual damage now for the Legion Commander. They take back the outpost. And Dark Willow. She has the Yule Scepter that make for easy setups with the Cursed Crown. And there's a Walrus Punch onto Tiny. A toss backwards. Both just getting up in the air. But Tiny, he doesn't have friends around. And is there going to be another duel? There's 4 more seconds. Do they wait for this? No, they don't. Weaver doesn't want to wait. Meanwhile, on this other side, Ursa tried to go in onto the Dark Willow, but they get a dual victory onto the Ursa. Double kill for the Weaver. 58 dual damage now on the Legion Commander. Blink Dagger finished. And Tusk is closing in on a Blink Dagger as well. There's also a Glimmer Cape on this Keeper of the Light. Everybody getting Glimmer Capes on this Radiant lineup. Meanwhile, this Weaver has finished the Yasha and is getting really close to that Manta Cell. Already has the recipe, only needs the gold for the ultimate orb. And it's here in about 300 gold. Also level 17, 19 minutes in. 20 experience gain at level 10 is very, very good if you have a start like this. We see in terms of levels, everybody is ahead on this Dire supports. Even on the Dire offlane, the Puck. Oh, blink forward onto the tier 3. Very, very ballsy there on Broccoli. Having absolutely no fear. They do want to react to this. Orb forward, Raining Rift. They are trying to go onto this Weaver, but Weaver is just going to Chukuchi away. There's a duel onto this Ursa, and Ursa just evaporates. Blink away, orb away from the Puck here. But meanwhile, they get the Dazzle as well. And Tiny is going to be in a world of trouble. Blink forward. There's the Ice Shard. There's the Clumsy Net. And Tiny going to go down as well. Weaver God like 9-0 and 9. Having an absolute fantastic game. Has finished now. The Manta Style already with another 1,400 gold to boot. And they are going into the Roshan with Tag Team. And there's going to be another Tag Team with the Keeper of the Light, just spamming Chakra Magic. And there's now the Cursed Crown and the Bedlam, just to ensure it goes as fast as possible. And it is going to be an Aegis for the Weaver. There's a Blink Dagger now on this Puck. Oh, but Tusk has a Blink Dagger as well, is not afraid. Very, very ballsy there on Joker. And there is... The silence is getting dodged with the Misty Manta Style, and the Clumsy Net not going to be enough to keep you alive there. Mid or Chen going down. Maybe Chen would have been a better pick. It's not. I'm sorry. Nothing to flame me. Just an avid lover of Chen. And they are pushing now this tier 2 top, the last tier 2 for this Dire lineup. And Weaver closing in on level 20. There's a TP from the Dark Willow. Is she gonna try to make a play on the... There is the Terrorize. Blink forward into the Bedlam. And this is gonna be a dead Ursa. Very well played there by Bambino. With the Terrorize, blink forward into the Bedlam, as well as Cursed Crown and Shadow Realm. You don't even need the Aghanim Scepter to kill people easily here. So much damage. Joker also level 15. He went for the 90 GPM. Interestingly. I think he'd go for the experience, but maybe he feels like the GPM is gonna be more beneficial in the early game here. And I mean, he is level 15 at 22 minutes. He is quite high leveled. But I would argue the experience gain is not gonna get you anywhere at level 30 when you're gonna get it, so... There is a Mjolnir now finished on this Weaver. This Weaver has 13k net worth, level 20. And is gonna go for a BKB. He doesn't want to feed away his lead. 10-0 and 9. Absolute fantastic game for him. There is a blink forward on with the duel onto the Dazzle. Oh no, not onto the Dazzle, onto the Tiny. They get the Grave out in time and Tiny is surviving. But not so the Puck. Puck has to buy back. They did lose the Dark Willow though. And now this Dire lineup is looking to turn this around. Ursa not going to be able to get a hit there. They get the Aegis on the Weaver. Are they going to be able to get him a second time though? There is a Clumsy Net It's gonna hit him. And there, Ursa is gonna try to focus on this Weaver. Is there gonna be another... Ooh, are they gonna get this Weaver? He is very, very fast, but he is getting low. Not enough lockdown there, and he is going to TP out. But very, very nice high ground defense there from the Dire. It did cost him a buyback on the puck, I believe. On the puck. But they did get the Aegis, they got the Dark Willow, they got the Tusk, and they prevented another duel victory. Nice grave there by the Dazzle. And they are smoking up here to get the outpost back. They are TPing in here. Avalanche a little bit early here. Tusk is here. He is gonna snowball away though. And blink away. But Puck also has a blink. There is a Glimmer Cape by the Keeper of the Light though. Ice Shards not quite enough. But there's a Terrorize onto this Puck here. Bedlam and the Shallow Grave to keep him alive here. He is gonna Winning Rift away. Ursa wants to focus on this Keeper of the Light, but the Ghost Scepter is gonna prevent that. Tusk is back into the fray here. And everybody is going down, but nobody dying. There is a death from the Puck. Weaver did arrive, and he is here to raise hell. And he is going to focus onto the Shadow Fiend. There is a duel. And the Will-O-Wisp. Another grave onto the Dazzle, but it's not going to be enough. And it is 4 heroes dead. It looked good for a moment there for Dire, but they weren't able to get anybody into the grave. Everybody went quite low. But, I mean, it's not enough. It's not enough to get them low. And this Weaver has an Imp Claw very close to BKB. Is there anything on the courier? Just TPs. And they are pushing now this mid lane of Rags. Wanting at least a tier 3. There are buybacks available, but they don't want to use it. They know Puck is out for 15 more seconds. They are focusing on the melee Rags. And it looks like Dire is going to give this lane up. They don't want to use the buyback of the Shadow Fiend with 10 seconds left. Ursa has the Sange. Didn't go for the Basher. Meanwhile, Tiny has the Blink Dagger now. So there are... Oh, what? You're in for mothering. You're in need of mothering with the Brute Mother. And they are taking out the shrines as well. Roshan may respawn in 2 minutes. What does this Dark Willow have? Is getting really close. Really close to this. To this Aghanim Scepter. Actually, 70 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. Shadow Fiend, he has a Vambrace, he has this BKB. He did use it in the last fight, but then got dueled and got focused down. There is this Ghost Scepter. Oh, and they are using this repair kit to rebuild the tower. I like this animation. I think this animation is so fun. It looks so cool. It reminds me of the Settlers or Age of Empires. Actually, more of the Settlers. Tiny does find them here. Avalanche onto the Tusk here, but they are turning it around onto the Tiny here. 3 hero Will-O-Wisp and the Terrorize onto 3 people as well. BKB used by Shadow Fiend, and they get the kill onto the Tusk. And Will-O-Wisp is gonna get focused down by the Shadow Fiend. Weren't able to catch anybody for the Radiant there, and Dire is turning this around. But there's the duel onto the Dazzler. Buyback from the Tusk, and they get the Tiny as well as the Dazzler, but it did cost him the Dark Willow. Dark Willow did not buy back, bought her Aghanim Scepter now, and they're still winning. Radiant still winning. It used the buyback from the Tusk, but it is this Weaver. This Weaver can't be controlled. Ice Shard's not going to hit, but there are 3 buybacks now, and Radiant has to be careful here. The Keeper of the Light... Ghost Scepter not gonna be enough. The Orb is gonna get the kill onto the Keeper of the Light, and now Legion Commander a bit in a world of trouble. Ice Shards are going to block her in. It was a nice try. You had to go for this, for these very, very close ice shards, and they either save him 100% or they doom him. And this time, you doomed your Keeper of the Light, your Legion Commander. Legion Commander has a Heaven's Halberd now, as well as a pipe. Puck is not afraid of this Weaver, and does take out the outpost. There is a BKB now on this Weaver. I don't know how you're going to be able to take him down. He did not go down. 14-0 and 14. Also, Aghanim Scepter online for the Dark Willow. Machine gun is ready. As well as Telescope. Holy shit. Attack range bonus 600 plus the Telescope attack range. That sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. And we'll see Bambino eliminate some heroes here very, very soon. It is an 18k lead now, but nobody has buybacks in this game. Nobody wants to save for that. We are 30 minutes in. In terms of experience, we did see a little bit of a dip here, but Dire, they did lose one lane of Rags. They are 20k down. They do find the Legion Commander though. Legion Commander very tanky. Are they going to be able to take her down? Dream Coil to ensure the kill. It was a DD on the Ursa here, and they are trying to go for this tower here. They are posturing her. Oh, but Ursa is saying, hey, let's go into our jungle. There is a Terrorize, and there is the Bedlam with Shadow Realm. So much damage here, but there's the Shallow Grave. Very nice Shallow Grave in the last moment there. BKB, but it's not going to be enough against the Weaver's physical damage. Time lapse to get to safety. And Shadow Fiend did go down. No buyback available. And Radiant, they are pursuing this fight now. Weaver going forward. Will-O-Wisp is going to catch out the puck, but no damage, so he can blink away. And Weaver is going to go up to the high ground, and he is not afraid. He has a BKB. Shukuchi forward, level 26. Meanwhile, on the back line, they get the Dazzle. And look at that. Creep Wave already here for the Radiant side. And they are pushing this. They want to take this first game of a best-of-3 series. And there we see Shadow Realm doing so much damage, but they are going down here. Ursa is still a force to be reckoned with. He is going to take away he's going to kill the Tusk. But they lose everybody. And there's a GG called. I won't lie, that was unexpected. GG, well played. Team No Dark Willow played the Dark Willow. Do they deserve the win? Yes. Yes, they did. Well played, everybody. Well played. And we'll see you guys in game number 2.